I was like nervous, like, oh my goodness, I hope, you know, nothing happens like I was seeing on TV, like a prison riot or a fight, and then we're out there and I'm locked in here. Hey everyone, welcome back to Manda and JD. As you can see,
it's about damn time.
JD is not going to be in this video today. It will just be me. I am going to be sharing with you a story time on when I went to prison. Now, if you think it's going to be an interesting video or story, please make sure right now to give me a big like. All right, let's get started. Before I start the story time, let me give you some background. So, at the time, I was young, still in middle school, actually in 8th grade. What?
Nothing.
Still in 8th grade. And I grew up going to a private school. From elementary school, middle school, going to private school. And in 8th grade, we had this teacher who, she came from a public school, and I think her view of private school kids was that we were privileged, bratty, spoiled kids, which this type of private school, we weren't that type of kids. Like, it was a Christian private school. We weren't that type of spoiled, type of, I guess, stereotypical private school kids that you would think. So anyway, there's no way to shake her image of what she had in her mind of us. And one day she came to class, was like, okay, so y'all need to see what real life is about. So I'm gonna be taking y'all to prison. So we were like, what? Prison? Take us to prison? Are you kidding? Like, no, like what? So anyway, she was saying, yeah, I'm gonna be taking y'all on a tour of what the prison life looks like. Cause she was like, we were ungrateful behind kids. So at first I was like, no, I don't want to go to prison. And then I started thinking, maybe I do want to go, because I've always wondered what it actually looked like inside of a prison. And I know, you know, like you go, you know, look at TV or movies, they have this depiction of what prison life is like. But you often wonder, like, is that what prison life is really like? I'm interested, not because I want to, you know, make sure that I never come here. I'm just interested to see what it looks like. I know I'll never come here. I'm not the type of kid. I didn't get in trouble a lot at all, you know, at home or school. So going to prison was like, I don't know, just piquing my interest, just being nosy onto what that life was like. So before we could go, we had like a lot of papers to sign, like waivers, I guess, for the prison, then also permission slips too. And granted, I was in 8th grade, so this was my last year at that private school. So I went home with this thing, and parents were like, prison? Why are y'all going to prison? Like, what? Is that part of some type of curriculum or something? And I was like, no. This lady, let's call her Miss B. Miss B was like, we need to learn, you know, what this life is like, and we need to be grateful for our life, and da-da-da-da, whatever. So my mom was like, you don't have to go if you don't want to. I was like, no, I actually want to go, not because what she says, but I just want to see what it's like on the inside, just to see what it really is, a real life depiction, like a real life view of it, and not just a depiction that I've seen on TV. So my parents was cool. They understood my reason why I wanted to actually go to the prison, and not because of what she said, but because of what I really wanted. So, you know, on the day of the field trip to prison, I was like nervous, like, oh my goodness, I hope, you know, nothing happens like I was seeing on TV, like a prison riot or a fight, and then we're out there and I'm locked in here and they come and get us. Like, all these weird things come to my head, and I was just like, trying to shake it off. Not many people went on this field trip. A lot of people skipped out on it, and they thought like, yeah, we're not going to prison, why we need to go to prison. And I completely understand with them, but me being nosy and just like interested, I was like, I'm going. And pretty much we were there like half of the day. So as soon as we got out there, we had to leave our belongings, like our jackets and stuff, inside the van, and our purses, everything inside the van. And we went in there. Before we got in there, the officers let us know, okay, this is what's gonna go down. You're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and this, and that, and that. Don't do this, don't do that. Just gave us like a rundown of what to do and what not to do. And before you get into prison, I'm pretty sure a lot of you haven't actually been there, but before you get in there, there are people who are like logging you in, I guess, to know that your presence is there, like you are inside this prison. You cannot have any type of belongings, like from what I remember, which has been so long ago. When I was in 8th grade, I was what, 13? And here I am, 25. So it's been a minute. But I just remember we couldn't bring anything in. They make sure we didn't have any type of weapons. Definitely no cell phones. Everything had to be left in the car before we got out, so we didn't have any of that. But if you did have a cell phone, little bins they have for you to put that stuff in, and your way out you were giving it back. We registered in there and whatnot, and the officer actually who gave us a tour, he actually went to my church, so it was pretty cool because I didn't feel like, okay, I don't know anybody here. I know him, so I felt comfortable with him. I knew him, talked to him, you know, quite frequently at church, so it wasn't somebody who was a stranger. So when we got there first, we got seated in like a chapel type thing, and this guy, when the prisoner's there, he was young, and he had like a little speech about, you know, his life, what he learned, what to do, not to do. I guess following the curriculum that our teacher wanted us to hear. We heard that for like 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and he had this little speech. I think that's where they also gather like weekly, they have like gathering meetings where the prisoners come, and there's like a person who gives speeches, you know, I guess people who like minister to them come in that room too. We got a tour of like the commissary, I guess, like their little, like a little gas station convenience store. They had snacks and stuff in there, and they could buy gum, honey buns, like half the stuff in there that I saw were nothing but like fattening foods. They weren't nothing good and healthy. It's probably why so many people who come out of prison gain so much weight, because we saw the cafeteria where they eat at, and pretty much what I was seeing there was like the movies depicted. And they had these little round chairs that were like stuck onto the tables. All the food they were eating, and it wasn't that bad. You know, sometimes like you see on TV, like movies, they had like a lunch lady giving them like worms and stuff. Like they had food, it didn't look that good, but it wasn't as bad. And there were prisoners who actually making the food. We saw where they cut hair. We saw their rooms. But typically, like what you saw on TV, there's a toilet there, there's the bed, and that's how it's set up. Like it really looks like that in prison. Like they also clean offices and stuff like that. So it's a lot of people who administrate the prison to keep it running. They have like free time to do active activities. Most of the time it's basketball. So the whole experience of going to prison gave me so much appreciation for those people who work inside the prison. Coming out of that experience at 13 years old, it really didn't change me much. It just gave me much respect for the people who work there. So it wasn't like what my teacher wanted. You could change your life, you gotta be more grateful. I was already grateful. My parents taught me to do that way. I was humble. So the whole purpose of going there for her reason was a fail. But for me, it was a success because I actually got to see what the inside of a prison looks like. I hope you guys enjoy. We will be back with more videos. Please give us some more suggestions of what we can do, because we've been kind of stuck on some things. But we'll be back more consistently. So we'll see you next time, and next time it will be with JD, not me by myself. But if you did enjoy this by myself, please comment below like, Amanda, you did your thing in the video, it was interesting. Bye.